And it's recording.
Hey guys, welcome to a Sunday video with me and Sam. And today we're going to be doing episode 1 and episode 2, just talking about it and yeah, just fangirling together.
Of Goblin, because she needs to mention what we're watching.
Oh yeah,
So,
we're watching Goblin, which I've heard another title for this is The Dazzling Goblin. I like that title more. No.
so today I gotta switch screens. I'm gonna get used to this. It'll take me a little bit. But today we're gonna be discussing episodes 1 and 2 of Goblin. Thoughts, feelings, all the fun jazziness. For right now, with our watch alongs, we are actually going to pre record everything. Not really edit it down, but definitely pre record it until we build a subscriber base, and then as we do that, then we're thinking about going live. But for now, we're just gonna kind of talk to chat back and forth about our thoughts and feelings, and then you guys comment below as you're watching it, and we will try and reply to as many as we can. So we hope you enjoy it, and yeah, Morgan, if you want to get us started.
Well, also, I just want to mention if the video quality sucks is because we're both recording on, well, you're recording on your laptop, I'm recording on my phone. So please just bear with us. And yeah, we're just going to get started into this world of goblins.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
I'm allowed to fangirl now because you wouldn't let me fangirl before. Oh my god, my
I know.
computer's shaking. I gotta
You
put it on
guys,
my couch. So,
what you guys don't know is that I actually was sick Saturday. So I actually just binge watched the first 2 episodes. Like, legitly, I just finished maybe like a half an hour ago. Yeah, I'm still like on this high of Goblin.
yeah, where I watched it like the day it came out, which first of all, Vicky sucks. I like Vicky, but Vicky sucks because they don't have the licensing for it, and I didn't realize it was going to be on Drama Fever. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch this. We've been looking forward to this for what? 6 months? Like, oh my
Yep.
god. I was so
What,
frustrated.
the one thing that sucks though is that we all know Drama Fever releases stuff very late, and also Goblin is like an hour and a half long, which is crazy. I
Okay,
think.
so the first thing I want to talk about is like the quality of this show. Like, oh my god, I didn't expect like that high quality of production, and like the acting is just kind of getting in, so I'm not kind of worried about that too much, but like the special effects and everything is so awesome. I was like geeking out hard, so hard. I thought it was the coolest freaking thing. Oh my god.
I mean, I my favorite part of the first episode was definitely when he was like he took his sword out of nowheres, and there were these like bad guys who were like, "Give me your money," and he's like, "Oh, sword!" And he like stuck it in the boat, and everyone fell off. And of course, that little boy like was like the death of me when he fell in the water. I was like, "No, not him! He's a cinnamon bun."
I think it's weird that like every generation it's like the grandfather brings the grandson to it and they look exactly the same. I know relatives and like genetics, but like they're identical. It's so weird. And then when he explained to the little kid that it was I'm your uncle and then your brother and then your son and then your grandchild or whatever, and like the little kid's like, dude, what are you smoking? Like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah,
And there was no explanation.
yeah. No,
At
I
least for the
completely.
little kid.
So, do you want to talk about all the different characters we've seen the first and second episode?
Yeah, well, luckily I have a little cheat sheet, and I want to put an asterisk. I'm gonna pop myself back up. I'm gonna put a little asterisk to like everything we're saying because we don't speak Korean at all. Nothing. I know a little bit of Hangul. Morgan knows quite a few Korean words. I know how to say like hello, goodbye. So we are going to be pronouncing a lot of the names in the
Wrong.
romanization form. So don't be too
Okay.
picky as to how we say it because we have romanized versions of the name and we're going to say them as if they're American names, and that's kind of how it's going to have to go for a little while. So, yeah.
So I don't know. I want to talk about the first character we saw, of course, which was the Goblin, which was, of course, Kim Shin. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I'm sorry, but my first thought of him in the first episode was that he was kind of scary, to tell you the truth. Like, I saw him as a warrior. He like ran after that guy who was trying to run away and killed him. Like, he seemed like the type of guy who doesn't really care if you're begging for mercy, he's going to kill you if he's ordered to do it.
Right.
And yeah. And
I thought it was a little weird when he was like full on off the cliff going after that one guy when there's a whole battle. Like, who cares? Oh my God. Who cares about the one guy who's running away? Like, he's not gonna matter, but I don't know. It was really odd. But I think it kind of shows like his aggression, and then we're gonna see like character growth through the 300 years he's lived. So
yeah.
the person he was then is going to be different than the person he is in like present day, which I don't even know what year they're in. Are they in 2016? I didn't see that.
I think they are, but I mean, they didn't really announce it. Another thing I mentioned about this character is I actually was surprised that, he wasn't as like angry and as like pissed off, I guess, as I thought he would be if like, because like he didn't really do anything wrong if you think about it. The king was jealous of the fact that he did his job too well and sentenced him to basically death. So, I mean, it kind of sucks because like he didn't really want to be the Goblin. He didn't want to be that.
Right.
But yeah, he is. And I kind of wanted him to like show a couple scenes of him just being like pissed off and angry. But he just like comes back after killing the king's like second in hand and just being like relaxed, being like, okay. Goblin.
So I just thought, like, first of all, like, not necessarily character, but like plot point explanation was the king jealous of him? Or what was going on? Why was he a criminal? He was a war hero. Like, why was he a criminal? Why was the king, I guess, because he was wearing blue. Blue's usually king, right? Is that prince? I don't know. Anyway, why was he, like, bent on killing everybody in front of him and then eventually him like dying? And I'm so glad his like general person was the one who did it ultimately. It kind of brings me back to Scarlet Heart when what's his face was being killed by his brother, and wow, I'm like characters slipping from my head, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'm glad the general kind of did it, but at the same time I'm like I don't understand why he wanted him dead and why he wanted everyone around him to die.
Well, my viewpoint in this is that I think that maybe he was jealous over the fact that the people were more for him than they were for the king, and it was more jealousy. And I think that the second in command really put put it in his mind that, if he let him go, if he let him live, then he would have eventually overthrown him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah.
So, another thing though, that the queen that died was actually, people are thinking that that's actually his sister.
That's interesting. But yeah. I like that she came back as like the chicken owner, like the chicken place owner.
And wait, I think that's a different character.
No, it's the same one because preview they show the ring with her, and she died with the ring on, and that's the only reason why I'm saying it's the same person.
Oh.
Because at first I thought she, like, when everybody died, I thought she was going to come back as the Goblin Bride. But she's not going to be the Goblin Bride. And when she was with the, like, fortune teller lady, and she was like, you bring bad luck and, like, death and everything, I'm like, okay, so it's probably not the Goblin Bride. Because she also warned her about the man in the black hat, which is the god of death. So I think her and Death are going to end up having a thing, which is really odd to say.
Yeah. And then talking about the Goblin in episode 2, I like fell for him. In the first episode, it was like lukewarm, and then in the second episode, I was like, "Take me now!" Like,
oh my god. Okay. So when he kept going into Death's room, going, "How do I look? How are these? Does this look cool? How about the music? K-pop, classical, what?" And then when he was like sitting on the edge with like the books and everything waiting to be summoned, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so adorable. It's creepy because she's 19, but oh my god, you're so adorable.
But he, like, I don't know, he's such a cinnamon bun, and I also love the fact that he was sulking so bad because like of their little fight they had, and they were like, he's like gonna make it rain in the house, and like, you're trying to be all cool, but in reality, you're just like this really cute panda bear. Like, right. That's just.
Okay, so let's talk about Death a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
You can talk. Okay, I like Death. I think he is going to be a really funny, interesting character to watch. Especially with like his standoff of like, I paid 20 years to live in this house. You're not supposed to be here. So he's going to be bouncing off the Goblin a lot. Oh, and the other piece too, I liked when I think his name is oh my God, whatever the
Sure.
Daqua or whatever
So,
Doqua, when he realized that he was the freaking god of death, like the look, he's like, this is perfectly normal. This is my life. God, the god of death and a goblin are living in my house, and I'm calling them both uncle because what else do you call them?
exactly.
But oh my god, I like Death, and like he's not as broody and weird as I thought he was gonna be. It was like I think he's gonna be good for not really comedy, but just a good bounce off character because I don't think there's any gonna be like a second lead in this series. I think it's just gonna be I don't know where it's going, but I really think I'm going to enjoy the Goblin and Death through the whole thing of just bouncing back and forth.
My thing was that the or death, which is I'm basically just calling him like a reaper. I feel like he basically is a reaper. Kind of scared me in the beginning. I really didn't know what kind of character he would be, but after kind of watching the drama, I'm starting to really like his character and the way he is acting with the goblin. I also love the fact that he has like a tea room, like where he puts all the teacups, where he makes people forget who they are. Because I just like the whole concept of it. Now, the thing with Death, I'm wondering if he gets close to the main girl, whether he's going to view her as a person rather than just a name he has to take.
Mm.
Like, that's what I'm wondering is going to happen in the future.
That'll be interesting because I don't know, because he says he has to prove that she's a person because she wasn't supposed to be. She was no name when she was in the mother's belly. She wasn't ever given a name. So when she was finally given a name, she's now a live being that whatever was supposed to be there. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch like why why does he need to have evidence? She's clearly there. And like how does that work? Because he talks about like gods intervening and how often do gods intervene? Is it just a goblin who can intervene and mess all of this up? Like I mean we don't meet any other god except the god of death and the goblin. So if the old lady, which I don't get her. Like
I
the woman who like turns into I don't understand her. I don't know what her purpose is other than like feeding what is her name? Untak or whatever.
Yeah, well, my thing is that a lot of people were saying that she's like the fairy godmother. But another thing I want to mention that kind of ruined the show a little bit for me was the makeup job in the beginning of her being like an old woman. It was
right. That was bad. It was bad.
Obvious to everyone that she was not an old lady. And I think it would have been 10 times better if they just hired someone who was older to play that character and maybe just yeah, it would have been totally like better. But instead I was like too busy looking at her makeup rather than paying attention to the drama itself.
Right. It was I know we're supposed to be talking about Goblin, but Moonlight Drawn by Clouds, when the sister who was clearly not fat, they're trying to make her fat and the prosthetic was just awful. I'm like, that's not her. Like that's not her skin. Like what's going on? And then when like all of a sudden she's skinny. So it's like the same idea. You can clearly tell that that's not like their final form, that something's gonna change. And it was almost overdone. Like I don't know if they were trying to make her like 600 years old and like the ultimate wrinkles or something. But I'm just glad like the wrinkles are gone. She's young. And then she freaking gave her spinach. Like, the fuck? And the nephew person tried to take her out for, oh my god, the answering machine. Uncle, come save me! Come save me!
Uncle!
Oh my god, I was laughing so hard. I got called obnoxious.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to talk about the main girl now?
Yeah, she's interesting. Because I don't really understand her personality. I understand her situation. Like she's lost her mom, which I cried like a freaking baby when she was in there and she had the birthday candles and everything. And then when she realized that her mom was dead, I was done. Like they were crying, I was crying, like, and then like her ultimately meeting death and then the old lady and everything. It was nice. Everything kind of got connected pretty fast. But when she was like at the very end of the first episode, she was like, "I love you." I'm like, I know you have issues with like connection, but that
Hmm.
should mean that you don't want to connect that fast. Like people let you down. Her aunt is a bitch. I mean, I'm sorry for my language, but like she is a terrible person. Case in point, when the what the mafia freaking came and like took her because they think she has all this money, and she's like, I have no idea what you people are talking about, which will be an interesting plot point later on down the road, like what's up with this money. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a personality for her. She kind of just seems like she's there. She's a plot point right now. So I hope she gets a lot more interesting as time goes on.
My viewpoint on her is that I don't like her. Like in the first episode, I really didn't like her. Once again, the whole I love you thing went way too fast. It honestly just feels like maybe she's just like grasping for anything that will give her like a step up in life. And that's like a character I really don't want to root for. Another thing is that I feel like, I don't know, like, she like when she got stuck in Canada, she was like, "I'm here, I'm okay." And then the goblin left her. She's like, "It's okay." I would
Well,
be freaking out if that was me. I'd be like, "How the hell did I get here? Don't leave me!" But instead, she was like, "It's okay. I'm just gonna like hang out in this hotel, go walk around." Like,
well, she kind of had a mini panic attack, like a mini one of like, I have no money, I'm in a strange country. And then when she met the ghost and like it spoke English to her and it freaked her out, that was funny. Um, but I don't know where I was going with this. Anyway, um, but yeah, it was kind of odd how calm she was, but at the same time, it was an escape from her life. She has a really bad life with a really jerk family, and now she's in this like beautiful place. It's a new country she never thought she'd ever see, and I think it was kind of like the euphoria of, well, number one, I am kind of mad at how quickly she, even though she's seen ghosts all her life, how quickly she accepted the magic. Like she
mm,
accepted it so fast instead of questioning it of
yeah.
I've never been able to do this. How did I get here? Like, um, and number two, where did she come up with Goblin? Goblin is not a very common supernatural
Well,
creature.
the ghost told her probably.
Yeah, but how do you go from like I would think like wizard before I ever said goblin because like
Yeah.
they always called her the Goblin's bride, but I would think like goblin, like ugh, like
Ugh.
creepy, the troll under the bridge goblin, not like he's a nice looking guy. Like I don't think he's like the nicest looking guy I've ever seen for a lead, but I think he's good for his character. But I know. Like let's watch Morgan like freak out over what I'm saying because she does not agree with me. But
So when I saw him come out for the first time in that suit, I was like, hot damn. And my mom was in the background being like, Morgan, Morgan, do we need to take you to a hospital? Like, you need to stop acting like this. I'm like, Mom, he's my husband. He's my third husband. I love him. Okay, back to the drama. I'm
okay,
sorry.
so because oh, side note, Ijungi, Lee Jun-ki, whatever romanization sucks. Like that's my person. So like I'm gonna be comparing everyone to him. So like whatever. But I like his character. But I'm just mad at how quickly she accepted the magic, how quickly she's accepting like everything that's going on, and
Hmm.
then the fact that she didn't freak out more when she saw the god of death kind of worries me a little bit. She was like, "You're here, so I'm gonna like try to run away." Like there was no actual panic.
Yeah.
And then she like hides behind the goblin like a puppy dog, and she's well first she tries to shield his eyes, and then like okay
That's
I'm
really
gonna hide behind you. Like I don't get it like at all.
I don't feel like her personality is really showing yet. I feel like I know like you usually watch a character and you kind of get them, but with this character, I don't know her train of thought. Like I can't connect to her, and that's like one of the biggest problems I have with this drama is that I feel like her character is kind of like everywhere. But I hope like as the episodes go along, we can get to know her a little bit more and get to know her way of thinking.
Right. I think the nice thing about the first two episodes, it sets us up with all the characters. I'm not
Mm.
confused as to who belongs to who, what their role is, especially with going back and forth between past and present for that first episode. At least we kind of know who is who, how they're all connected. We have our core group. So that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then it's to kind of go from there. I mean, I think now that she's been kidnapped and all of that, we're gonna start seeing some character growth and like we're gonna start seeing where they all kind of fit, so that way we can move on. but I don't know her personality. I'm not the biggest fan of her. I was kind of hoping for like this little adorable thing, and like it just didn't happen. I don't know. I'm not. Can we talk about the nephew?
Yes, I want to talk about him. Can I talk about him first,
Yeah,
please?
go ahead. Go.
Okay, first off, I'm a huge fan of BTB because Sung-Jae is like the character or it's the actor who plays him, and I totally screamed when he came on screen because I was like, "Oh my God, Sung-Jae!" But also the fact that he's wearing a poncho totally just ruined his image for me. But besides that, I love his character. I love how quirky he is. I love the fact that he's like not afraid to tell it how it is. He called him out, the goblin out on speaking informal to his grandfather. He's like, "Why are you speaking informal to my grandfather? Like, are you a punk? Are you rude?" Also, I love the fact that he knew that he was a goblin forever and just like let the goblin think that he didn't know. And I just love his character. I love how spunky he is. I definitely think he adds a lot to the characters, and I like the kind of like romance they have together.
See, he is going to be probably one of my favorite characters. Which number one, like I said before, the reaction when he was like, "You're the god of death," and then he was like, "This is my life." Okay, and then when like he's talking to the goblin, and the goblin's like, and like all of a sudden he's all tied up, and I laughed. So I rewound it to see what was going on, and then I let it play again, and then I laughed again. Like I don't even. It was like it wasn't even like a 2 second clip, and it was like my favorite part of the whole freaking episode. But
Ugh,
oh my god, oh my god,
he's
he's gonna be fun. Number one, and then number two, when he like thought his uncle was going to be gone for a long period of time, Uncle Goblin, and he rented out the freaking house for 20 years, and then like the Goblin shows back up, and he's like, "You're not supposed to be here. You need to go away. Go away for like 20 years, 25 years, and then come back later." So,
right. Oh, I love that. So, do you want to talk about the chicken owner lady, Sunny? What you like?
yeah, I like that she stood up for Untak. Is that what her name is? Untak. I like that she stood up for her and you just called her best friend and whatever. But I don't get the like, I have no customers. Like, if you have no customers, how is your business still going? Like, you
Yeah.
just sit there and eat like I don't know, they're like crackers. They look, you know what they look like to me is combos.
Oh yeah.
That's what I thought she was eating at first, but I couldn't really tell. But
I think
I don't understand her like nonchalance of like, oh, hello, customer, sit wherever. I don't have customers. I don't have guys. My life sucks. Like, she's gorgeous. I don't understand. I don't.
yeah. Do you want to know what she reminds me of? Side note,
Sure.
it reminds me of Luna Lovegood.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
She, but whenever she's on screen and I'm like of course watching it, I feel like it's in a dream because she's very much like, oh, like my life is horrible. Like it just like feels very dreamy, and
Hmm.
like see what kind of character she is. I wonder if she's like a mystical character. I wonder if I just wonder what her backstory is and where they're gonna go with her.
Right. I mean, I know because the Goblin and Untalk are going to be together. I know that her and Death are going to have a kind of not really relationship, but they're gonna have a connection somehow. And I'm
Yeah,
really interested to see first of all how they introduce them to each other, and second of all like where they're gonna go with it.
yeah.
And like I am hoping for some philosophical thing. It's a Korean drama. I don't know how philosophical they're gonna get, but I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna introduce them though, unless like Death like because now the Untalk staying at the chicken place right now. So unless Death figures that out and then comes and then meets her that way, and then can she see him with the hat on? That is the question. Because if the hat is on, mortals can't see him. Only ghosts and like supernatural people.
Unless like somehow his hat gets knocked off, and
Yeah.
then, oh, are you a customer? Like
Where did you come from?
exactly.
Okay.
Can I just mention that the music in this drama was awesome, and I was actually really surprised that there was a whole English song in it. I don't know if it was all English, but like it definitely had a lot of English in it, and I was like, where did this come from? But
I
it was
have had the opening sequence on repeat on my phone. Like the opening, like when like the credits are coming up and everything, and
hmm,
that Falling You or whatever, it's by like Punch and someone else. I don't know. I've had that on freaking repeat to the point that I've almost got like most of the English memorized, and I'm starting to try and get some of the Korean memorized because I love it so much. I was singing it in the hallway at work today. No lie. Like humming along, go singing a song, freaking it's Christmas time and I'm singing Korean drama OST music. Like I love that song. I found it as soon as like the first episode was over. That's how obsessed I am with this thing right now.
Yeah, I love the music. I actually made a list of scenes that I loved in this drama, and I'm gonna like quickly read it over. Um, and if you had any favorite scenes, just like add on, Sam.
Mm.
But favorite scenes of the first episode was when the bandits wanted to take the gold and the boat flipped. I felt like that was awesome. Like special effects. I love the whole scene. I just love. I mean, I was amazed because a lot of times dramas, like when they have special effects, they're not really that great. As an example, Wuhan in high school Love On. Wuhan's mom baby because he's an infinite, but he had like a CG of a basketball and it was horrible. If you want to like check it out, just YouTube it because you'll know what I mean. But the CG in this drama was on point. Also, I love the fact when like Shin was walking by the Reaper's house or Death's house, and he looked in, and Death is like, "Oh, it's the Goblin," and the Reaper and Goblin was like, "You have a horrible hat. Like your hat is horrible." Love that scene because it just shows right away that's the type of relationship they're gonna have. And yeah, and also I love the way that she kind of like how she was like had her birthday and she was, I just want like a job, money, and all this,
and a boyfriend.
And a boyfriend, yeah. And then he appears, and then when he walks away, she's like, "What about my boyfriend?" And I'm like, "Me too, girl. Me too." Those were episode 1. Sam, do you have any favorite scenes from episode 1?
So episode 1, I like the like creepy ass ghost lady with like the eyes and everything. She's like in the long gray dress or whatever when she's like freaking out. I love her. So I like also that they brought her back in the second episode. So I have a feeling she's actually going to be a character, which I'm happy because she's like, "Come with me," and like the other ghost is like, "Stop, you're just being an asshole." So I really like that because I think she's gonna be a really fun character to kind of play with a little bit. Um, but I mean, first episode's kind of like I loved it. I know I loved it, but at the same time, I'm like the second episode's much more fresh in my memory. I wish I rewatch. I really need to like binge watch them on Saturdays instead of watching them one day after another, so I can like really get a feel. But I really like the first episode just in total as like a setup kind of deal where it's like, oh my god, I'm sorry for all the shaky camera. I'll get this figured out. My leg fell asleep. Um, but I like the fact that they set up the story. I like the fact that we know who's who. Other than I think the chicken lady, because she didn't come into the first episode, she came in the second episode. We've got a good base of characters. We know how they're all connected, and that's why I liked the first episode. Nothing was confusing. I didn't go like Airs, for instance. I had to go into like the fourth or fifth episode before I finally caught on to who was who. Like not necessarily character wise, but like how they were connected. I'm not confused with this episode or with this series. I know the characters, I know their roles, and like that's really kind of nice. So
Yeah,
that's what I have to say about the first episode. And the creepy ghost, I love her. She's great.
I also love the fact that we got a backstory right away because sometimes I feel like dramas they sit too much with a backstory. Like it takes you like 10 episodes to know a character's backstory, and it's kind of is nice. The first episode, yeah, like I felt like sometimes it was rushed, but it's like you got the backstory and you got to know how he was made, you got to know her backstory, and now we can actually move on with the actual plot line of the drama, which was really. Now, my favorite scenes for episode 2, I have quite a bit because I loved episode 2. Episode 2 is probably my favorite. And they're not in order because I literally just wrote memory. But the first I have is when she calls him out and he's in the middle of eating dinner.
Oh my god. I laughed so hard.
And like I can help but think like what's gonna happen when he's like taking a shower.
I just like that she was like, the steak smells so good, and he like full on like bites the entire that piece was huge. Like no human being could chew on steak like that, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, keep going.
Um, also, of course, I like the whole scene when he was like bothering the death about like what he's wearing, which is something we already talked about. I love that scene. Hilarious. It reminds me a lot of my sister because she does that to me. And I actually ran to her when the scene played. I was like, "Watch this! This is you! This is you!" Also, I loved when the nephew, or I'm not sure what to call him, the guy, nephew, cousin, uncle, knew that he was a goblin already. I love that because he was like, "Yeah, I already knew. You like almost gave me gold when I was like 9 years old."
He was drunk too. Oh my god, when they went to the flashback of him with all the gold and he was like clearly smashed out of his mind and he's like, the gold is not for you. Oh,
Hmm.
I loved it. That was funny. I also like that he was like freaking out about the fact that like you've known the whole time and you've been speaking informally to me and he's like levitating and he's like, dude, I've known you don't scare me. And like I'm like, how does that not scare? That would freak me out. And he's like,
Oh, he does not care. Yeah, I know. I also love the fact that when she was at the bookstore and that little girl gave her that book, and then like the nephew, like him, he took the book like later on. If you notice, because
yeah,
he had on. I just love that whole scene because feel like it's really cute because he's like, a little girl's like, "Oh, is your boyfriend like a knight?" And she's like, "I wish."
he's a goblin.
Goblin. Um, Also, I love how sulky the goblin got when they were fighting. I love the fact that he called her pretty. And like he called her pretty in the first episode, but then he like backtracked. But then in the second episode, he was like, "No, you are actually pretty." And I was like, oh, "God, give me some napkins." Of course, when the nephew was tied up, and also I love how she got all protective over the goblin when Death appeared because she's like, "Don't look at him," and he's like,
I
"I can
live
look
with
at him."
him. He's my roommate.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen when she actually figures out that they're roommates because I'm like, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder. Well, now that the goblin has basically marked his territory of
Mm,
her and like Death really can't touch her, even though he's like I'm not really sure if she's the bride. That's one of the other things too is like she's supposed to be able to see the sword. Why can't
mm,
she see the sword? That's my biggest question is she's clearly the goblin's bride because we're not introduced to any other female character other than Chicken Lady. Um, so why can't she see the sword? Does she have to wait till she's older or what? Like, because I know that's one of the things, and that's why he's not sure. But at the same time, oh my god, I'm clicking things. At the same time, it's like he's clearly connected with her, so obviously she has to be the bride. Oh, okay. So and then going back, like what I said before, with the freaking like music and the book and the paintings. The paintings. Oh my god, when he was like trying to fight through the door, and then he crawled up on the bed and he's like lifting the blanket and the god of death's like, I just want to freaking sleep, leave me alone. He's like, you sleep like that? Like full on coffin, like you sleep like that. I was oh my god, and the outfit changes where the outfit never actually changed. I'm like, what is going on, dude? Like
Also,
I
that
don't.
day when Death was like taking underwear and he was singing the Goblin song, like "Goblin Stinky" or something like that, and stretching the underwear, and like the Goblin's like, shut up, shut up, shut up." I love that. I love their whole banter. I think their banter definitely made the second episode.
Right. I
Yeah.
yeah, I really like their relationship together. Like I think I'm going to enjoy this and I hope like the level of like comedy stays where it is or gets better, which I don't know
Mm,
how it would get better, but I love their relationship. I love their connection. Their timing is perfect. Because even though you can't
mm,
understand Korean, you can understand timing.
yeah.
Because even though you're reading the subtitles, you hear it and then you can match the subtitles with the actual lines and like the timing is good. They have really good timing. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy they're roommates. I am interested to see what will happen when she finds out they're roommates, even though I don't think Death can touch her right now,
Mm.
honestly. And my other thing too that I'm curious about is that when he marries her, does he die then? Or does he become mortal and he'll live out his life to death?
Yeah, that's one of the questions that I actually had too because I was, pretty um like I don't know, I was pretty like unsure about it because in the beginning when they're talking about it, and I was like, okay, well, can she like wait, wait a couple years to pull it out, or does she have to pull it out right away? And I think that the whole reason, like the whole like thing about her, um, like not seeing the sword has to do with maybe the fact that maybe they have to be in love, and you can't be in love right away. Although she's like, I love you, that's not
It's
really
not
love.
love. It's infatuation at most.
So I wonder when they actually are in love, then she can't actually see it.
Right. And I wonder if the love has to be reciprocal because he's fond of her, but I don't think he loves her. And
Hmm.
I think he feels bad for her situation, but I don't think he loves her. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to wait to see like the actual love. The other thing too, because of their age difference, are they going to age them up, or is it gonna stay the way it is? Which that would be a little strange, but I know it's been done in Korean dramas before because I've seen controversial stuff about actors and the characters being such separate age gaps. So who knows? But I want to see them age up, but at the same time, it's like, how would they go about doing it?
Hmm. I actually wrote a couple things, like a couple things about like stuff I didn't like about the drama. So of course, in the first episode, I didn't like the old woman's makeup, which we talked about because it was just really distracting. Also, what you actually just talked about, I actually wrote down like the age difference because it's kind of weird. But you know what? I don't mind it. I mean, I don't care. I think like like it's whatever. It's not like she's like six. Like she's the legal age, if that makes sense.
Right.
And, like I don't see it to be too distracting or too horrible. Another thing in the second episode, once again, I hated how relaxed she was when she was in Canada, and like I wrote like, wouldn't you be freaking out if you just dropped into another country? But we already talked about that.
Yeah. So,
Um,
insert my one of my favorite scenes is when that bully girl was like trying to take a like was saying she was prostituting and she like clearly wasn't. They were just walking and talking and like the door just like whacked open and she freaked out because there was no one. I loved it. Oh my god! I'm like finally the bullies like get their comeuppance right now.
Exactly. Also, what I didn't like in the second episode was, of course, because her aunt is evil, and I hope that her and her children get what they deserve. And I also kind of didn't like how they're kind of falling for each other really fast. I just feel like, I want to see these characters evolve. I want them to see them fall in love, but not like that fast, if that makes sense. Like, I
Yeah.
want have moments together that makes them fall in love. Like I want to see moments where the goblin looks at her and be like, "Oh my god, I actually really like her. I don't dislike her." But I feel like right now they're just like pushing them together, and the goblin's like he already likes her, and it's just I don't know. I want more of a relationship or a
Hmm.
way to build a relationship than them actually being like and like with each other already in the second episode.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a 16 episode drama, but I mean, what's the difference between 16 and 20? It's not really that much plot wise, and they have plenty of time to build these relationships. I mean, we're in episode 2. We've got what? So, 8 weeks, 7 weeks left. I mean, in 7 weeks with 2 episodes a week, you can build a relationship. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I just hope they don't kiss too fast. Like if they kiss in like episode 4, I'm gonna kind of be a little upset. I want to build. I want to understand the relationship. I want a foundation for everyone, and then go from there. Because even though we don't know where this is actually going, minus the fact that she's the Goblin's bride, she's going to marry him. He's basically
Mm-hmm.
going to die. How,
Mm-hmm.
when, where, all the other details mixed in. Like I'm interested to see where they go with this, but I hope they don't fall in love too fast. Really, I really hope they don't.
Yeah. Another thing that I really hope that doesn't happen is like a love triangle. I don't want the Reaper to be in love with her. I don't want that. Like I want just like, I just want simple like drama where there's some romance because I love my romance and it's them finding their relationship. I don't want the Reaper to fall in love with her. Like,
No.
that would totally turn me.
Or the nephew. I don't want the nephew either. I
Yeah.
think I want him there for the comedy. I want him there for like, I think, oh, excuse me. He might end up helping push the story along a little bit, and he's kind of like the monkey wrench that throws everything in the middle of it and messes things up. Like I like that. I hope
Mhm.
he doesn't build a I hope he doesn't build a relationship outside of friendship with her. Like if they
Yeah.
become friends, like because they look like they're about the same age, and I think I looked up their ages, and they really are. I think they're both like 21, 22. So it would be nice to have like a friendship, kinship kind of deal. But I hope that it's just the goblin and her, and them building the foundation to their relationship.
Also, I thought that she didn't have any friends because, like, in the second episode, she was there talking to another classmate, and I was like, wait a minute. In the first episode, they were talking about how she didn't have any friends because she talks to ghosts. I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird.
Maybe the friend is a ghost, like a
Maybe.
dead student or something. That'd be weird. But who
But
knows?
thoughts about the drama for me, the first episode, once again, I felt like, okay, the first episode, I felt a little wishy-washy on. I like the fact that they went through a backstory really fast and that, but then again, it felt like a roller coaster because it felt like I went from like epic fight scene to I'm crying to I'm happy to crying, happy crying, and I was a mess. But the second episode, I definitely love better. I love the banter. I love the characters now. I'm loving the Goblin and the Reaper. They're my OPT.
OTP.
OTP, I don't know, one true pairing. Yeah, they're mine. I love them. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a good drama. I think it had a good start. And also, I just want to mention real quick that I wrote down that it hit 6.9 average, which is actually a really high amount for a drama for its first episode that aired in South Korea. So just letting you guys know that it actually hit very high up in South Korea, which is really awesome for the drama since it's like its first episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm well, the first episode, you got my snaps. Like I was freaking out because well, it wasn't just the story; it was the quality of the show itself. Like it, first of all, when I started watching it and I realized that it was going on a lot longer than an hour, I'm like, how long is that? I wasn't looking, I wasn't paying attention, and when I saw it was an hour and 20 minutes long, I'm like, I have a hard enough time sitting through hour long first episodes because the first episodes usually tend to bore me, and it held my attention more or less through the whole thing. So that was nice. That's why I really liked it because I was invested pretty fast.
Hmm.
But the first episode really was a foundation episode. Who are they? Why are they there? How did he become a goblin? What is the lore behind it kind of deal? Where like
Hmm.
why does he need the bride? What is their relationship? Like what's the end result of the relationship? And a lot of the characters got introduced, but they weren't introduced so fast that I didn't know who was who. It was introduced, and then it was kind of like, okay, let's explore it just a tiny bit, and then introduce it, and then explore a little bit more. Um, so I liked that as well. But the second episode definitely was more of my favorite episode because it was like, okay, we have all these characters, now let's play. Let's have a little bit of fun. We're in
Yeah.
Canada. Like, why are we in Canada? What's going on? Like, I am upset that she wasn't a little more freaked out like you were, but at the same time, I kind of let that go pretty fast because I wanted to see where they were going with it. Like, why, of all the countries in all the world, he's from Korea. Why would he go to Canada? And so it was nice. It was kind of weird. The graveyard was like in a park. Were you a little
Yeah.
weirded out by that? I was.
Like do people in South Korea actually think that we have graveyards and parks? Like,
I hope
or not?
not.
We're not even from Canada. I mean, I'm just thinking like Canada. Yeah, they don't have graveyards and parks. I mean, I've been there like 3 times and I've never seen a graveyard in a park before.
Right?
Like,
So I don't know, but I'm glad. I really did like the second episode a lot more. I'm very interested to see how this is gonna go, and I haven't been this excited for a next episode since Scarlet Heart, so I'm invested. I know I'm invested.
so, do you want to talk about what we think will be happening next episode? I'll let you go first, Sam.
Okay, so next episode, I really hope she finds out that um Death and the Goblin are roommates because I'm interested to see the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really wanting to see because I really don't know what's gonna happen, but I really want to see the chicken lady's like who she is. I want that a little more fleshed out of like who is she. I want her to meet a lot more of the main cast than just the girl. just in talk, because right now that's the only connection she has to the story is, well, actually the aunt and in talk. But I want a lot more of like to see the connections coming through. So I want a lot more foundation building, and I want more of the nephew. I want him to like just bounce around and be there. But yeah,
Hmm.
not really what
No,
I'm expecting, but what I'm hoping will happen, like plot wise, I guess.
yeah, yeah. For me, I feel like we're either going to see a huge fight down between like
Oh yeah,
the
because they end with the
uh,
guys in the car. Yep.
yeah. So either a huge fight, or what I can also see is that they're gonna pay them off and be like, "Here's your money. You can let her go." I also have a feeling, like I don't know why, but like I think it'd be pretty cool if she moved in with him, because yeah, like her aunt kind of kicked her out, or she kind of just left.
Right.
So I think it'd be really interesting if she moved in with them. I don't think that would happen, but if she moved in with them. Also, once again, what you said, like building another foundation, getting to know characters we don't really know a lot about, such as Sunny, and also the old woman slash not old woman. Also, I'd love to see more of the nephew, of course, and a lot of romance. Also, I kind of want to learn more about the death's history. Was he actually a human, or was he always death? Like, also we got to see like one of his employees or one of his coworkers who's also death. Like, I'm
Hmm.
interested in seeing his background and seeing how he became death.
Right. So, do you want to rate episodes? Do you want to do like a
Yeah,
star
I think.
system? Okay, so you
Yeah.
want to do out of 10 or out of 5?
Let's do a 10.
Out of 10? Okay, so
Okay.
the first episode I would say an 8.5. Really, really liked it. Really, really,
Oh,
really liked it. Like 10 is going to be perfection, just so you know for me. So I'm gonna say eight
I
and a half. Really, really
well,
liked it. Cinematography was great. Um, but I kind of I don't know how to explain it, but there wasn't it was an hour and 20 minutes of setup, basically.
mm,
Where episode 2 I would definitely give a 9. Like, love that episode. 10 is just sheer perfection, but just her not being freaked out, and I don't know. There was just a couple things that bothered me, and so I'm gonna give 8.5 for the first one, 9 for the second.
so the funny thing is that when you actually said 8.5, I was thinking maybe I should do 8.5, and you're like 8.5. I was like, what? You just read my mind. But actually, I think I'm gonna give the first episode a 7, because I feel like for me it was a little bit too slow. Not slow. It's just like I wasn't didn't hit all the points I wanted to hit, and the main girl just kind of ruined it for me. And for the second episode, I would definitely have to give it. I want to give it like maybe like an 8.5, because like it was awesome, and like you said, like a 10 is amazing. Like 10 is something like we don't want to give out really easily, but I think an 8.5 is really good for this episode, because it did hit a lot of points. It did make me laugh. It made me feel like I wasn't watching like an hour and 20-minute long show. It went by really fast, but yeah, it did miss some points, especially with the girl and really not knowing her character yet.
Hmm. Okay. So I think we hit everything we wanted to hit.
Hmm.
I don't think this went too bad for our first time. I'm kind of happy with it.
Also,
Um,
sorry if we pronounce anyone's names wrong. Don't hate us. Once again, don't hate us. We're sorry.
and I'm kind of rambly, and so you'll learn that I'll get on a train of thought and then I'll jump off of it and I'll come back later.
Hmm.
So don't mind me and my ADD, because I have ADD. I like wicked ADD sometimes. But I hope you guys like this. Um, I hope that you guys enjoyed the show as much as we have. And I don't know, Morgan, do you have any final remarks before we kick out?
Uh, yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, or not any questions, like anything you want to add to what we're saying, or like anything you want to discuss with us, write it down below, because we will love to like talk to you guys about it. We'll definitely call it back to you guys and just start a conversation.
And also let us know, because we're trying to figure out social media. So if we get enough people who are watching this, if you want us to do a Twitter, or we have a Tumblr account, but we haven't connected it or anything like that. We're still figuring this all out. So I hope you liked it. We had fun recording this, or at least I know I had fun. I don't know about you.
Uh,
Um, we will see you next Sunday when we discuss episodes 3 and 4 of Goblin. and I'm super excited to see what happens. And luckily, it's my weekend off, so I can binge on Saturday. Um, and look out for our video on Tuesday, where I'll be talking about 5 facts about me. And it's the first time I've ever edited a video, so be kind. So I don't know. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Okay.
I'm gonna wave. Bye.